Hello everyone, this year we are going to start with political science for standard 9. The first chapter is post-World War political development. But before that, let's revise. In the civics textbooks till now, we have studied the local self-government institutions, India's constitution and a political system or governmental structure. In this class, we are going to study India's relation with the world. You must have understood world's geography through the study of geography. You must have become familiar with the global historical events through the study of history. Now, through the study of political science, we are going to study India's relation with the world and some major global issues. We are dependent on different persons, institution and organization in the society for different reasons and for different facilities. So definitely friends, we are dependent on each another for one or the other need. Interdependence and mutual cooperation has a very important place in society for different facilities. It applies to different nations as well. So as we are dependent on one person to the other, even these nations are dependent on each other. Let it be a big nation or a small nation. Everyone is dependent on each other. International system. Exchange and interaction takes place among the nations in the world. They enter into the treaties with one another. So what is treaties? Treaties are the agreements, contracts you can say. This system of interdependence of sovereign states is called international system. Interdependence. No country, however big or small it may be, is not self-sufficient. They are dependent on each other for one reason or the other. Interdependence is an important feature of the international system, that is, today's global system. International relations through foreign policy. Every nation has policies about its relation with other nations. This policy is called foreign policy. We are going to study about foreign policy in detail in the next chapter. Coming towards the background of the contemporary period, many events and development in the 20th century have shaped the world in which we live today. So in 20th century, many events took which have changed our today's world. In order to understand today's world, we need to go back to history. The First and the Second World War are the most important event in 20th century. So definitely these two world wars have played a major role in our present as well as for our future. The world completely changed due to these two wars. We'll see about the First World War. The First World War was fought from 1914 to 1918 between the Allied powers and the Central powers. At that time, Europe was the center of international and global system. The war caused tremendous loss of life and property in Europe. The economies of the victorious as well as defeated nations had collapsed. They completely became bankrupt. Allied powers, it had Britain, France, Russia, Italy, America. Central power consists of Germany, Austria, Hungary, Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria. Such wars should not be fought in future, so the League of Nations was been set up. At the end of the First World War, all the nations felt that such a war should not happen again and some measures should be taken to avoid it. The League of Nations was established to solve international disputes by negotiations. The main responsibility of the League of Nations was to avoid war. After the war, major changes came about in Europe. The earlier empires in Europe collapsed and new nation states came into existence. Movements for independence started in the colonies of European power in Asia and Africa. The League of Nations could not stop the outbreak of the Second World War, as autocratic regimes had emerged in Germany, Italy, and Spain. We'll start with Second World War. The Second World War was fought from 1939 to 1945 between the Allied powers and the Axis powers. Allied powers consisted of Britain, France, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Soviet Union, China, America. Axis power consisted of Germany, Japan, Italy. The Second World War was more destructive than the First World War. It was more widespread than this First World War, and more advanced technology was used in this war. America played a major role in the Second World War. It dropped two nuclear bombs on two cities of Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, to end the war. The war ended with the defeat of Germany and Japan. Let's see what is Cold War. America and Soviet Union, who were the allies means friends, became rivals soon after the end of the Second World War. Their rivalry, described as Cold War, lasted for over 45 years, that is from 1945 to 1991. The term Cold War described a situation where there is no actual war but such intense tensions that may lead to war. America was already a superpower, and Soviet Union aspired to become a superpower by making nuclear weapons and increasing its military might. The struggle for power, arms race, difference in ideologies, attitude of checkmating each other by strategies and counter strategies gave rise to the Cold War. We will see the effects of Cold War. Creation of military organization, bipolarization of world, arms race, creation of regional organization, non-alignment. We'll see each term in detail. Creation of military organization. During the Cold War, both the superpowers created military organization. The respective superpowers took up the responsibility of security of the countries, joining the military organization led by them. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was a military organization under the dominance of America. The Warsaw Pact was a military organization under the command of the Soviet Union. Bipolarization of the world, which means division of world into groups. Most countries of the world joined either of the two superpower blocs. Such a division of the nation of the world in two groups is bipolarization. The scope of the Cold War increased and the sphere of the tension spread due to bipolarization. The superpowers started producing arms on large scale to outsmart each other. Both the superpowers realized that arms race may endanger international peace. Hence, efforts towards arms control and disarmament also happened during this period. Creation of regional organization. Regional organizations were created to ensure mutual cooperation in the context of superpower rivalry. Economic development was considered to be more important. European countries from European Economic Community and Southeast Asian countries formed Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Non-alignment. While the world was becoming bipolar, there were some countries which did not want to join the superpower rivalry. Such nations decided to stay out of the Cold War rivalry. Their policy is known as non-alignment. Non-alignment was an important movement during the Cold War. The Asian and the African countries which became independent after the Second World War supported the ideas of non-alignment. This movement started from 1961 under the leadership of India's Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The first picture is shown over there. President of Yugoslavia, Marshal Tito. The picture is here in blue and red national flag with a star. President of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, the one who is speaking in mics towards the extreme right. President of Indonesia, Dr. Sukarno, the one which is in left, the person who is wearing the hat. Prime Minister of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the one picture which is in black and white with the Ghana flag, red, yellow and green. Evaluation of the non-alignment movement. The non-alignment movement has opposed colonialism, imperialism and racism. The non-aligned movement is based on eternal principles of humanism, global peace and equality. It has inspired the less developed countries to come together and put forth the problems of poor undeveloped countries firmly. It has made demand of new international economic order (NIEO). It has taken a firm stand on disarmament and fostering of human rights. It has brought several new streams of economic and social changes into international politics. End of the Cold War. The Cold War came to an end in 1991 due to the following reason. The Soviet Union adopted the policy of opening up the economy and loosened the control of the economy. Mikhail Gorbachev, the then president of the Soviet Union, implemented the policies of perestroika, that is restructuring, and glasnost, that is openness. Due to this policy, the control over the media was reduced and political and economical spheres were restructured. This gave an impetus to democracy. The countries in East Europe overthrew dictatorial regimes and adopted the capitalism and democracy. The Soviet Union disintegrated and several new nations emerged out of it. Russia was the biggest country. Post-Cold War world. The following changes came about in the world politics after the end of the Cold War. America remained the only superpower in the world politics. A conducive atmosphere for the growth in trade and economics relation between and among nations prevailed. There was free flow of capital, labor, market technology and information and ideas throughout the world. As all nations of the world decided to give priority to trade relations, the ideas of giving aid was replaced by efforts to establish economic relations. The description of opposing nations changed from enemy nations to rival nations. The United Nations now has taken concrete steps to maintain global peace and security. The issues like environmental protection, fostering of human rights, gender equality, and management of natural calamities have acquired a global dimension. Now let us see what is globalization. The globalization means trade and economic relations among nations became open with the end of Cold War. Revolution in information technology transformed the world. The boundaries of the nations no longer remained sacrosanct. There was free flow of capital, labor, technology, and information. There was free flow of ideas among the people globally. Economies of different countries are now linked to each other. These are the merits of globalization. There was economic unification. The trade increased. There was availability of quality products and plenty. Demerits of globalization are: it failed to close the gap between poor and rich nations. The benefits of free trade have not reached the poor nations. So with this we have completed our first chapter of politics. In this chapter, we studied the global developments from 1945 onwards. We understood the world in Cold War period, the arms race and the efforts at disarmament. We also learnt about the meaning of globalization. In the next chapter, we shall study India's foreign policy. Thank you. If you feel this PPT was helpful, kindly like, share and comment. Thank you.